Hello everybody, T3 here from Future Nature and T3 Photography. This is it's called an addendum video to my New Year's Day blog post and video that I put out. Specifically where I talked about my Indiegogo campaign. It's come to my attention that there are some rumors circulating out there about me, about what I actually need the money for. So I'm going to tell you a bit of a story. So I have purposely avoided doing anything with the media for 12 years plus. Then a woman I admire very much, named April Vokey, invited me on her podcast. And my inner vision hit home instantly. And so this is your start into the realms of media. So I went and, we did the first part of our interview, and then we ran out of stuff to talk about, and we ended up doing a second part. And on the drive to that interview, realizing that this was going to be essentially my origin story for those who don't know who T3 is, or Tom Brown III, I made a decision that I was going to be open about who I am, my past, and things that I've done. Those of you who know me and know me well know that there was a time in my early 20s when, actually it started when I went from living in wilderness like this. Divorce happens, I moved to the suburbs, and all of a sudden, starting at 12 years old, I noticed this void inside me that I had never noticed before. And as the years went by, it grew bigger and bigger, and then I got introduced to drugs and alcohol. And once that happened, by the time I was 21 years old, I was managing mailboxes, etc. And I was just so miserable because I was in a rut so deep I couldn't see over the side. I was getting drunk every night. Finally, one day a friend of mine shows up for a visit, and I had heard rumor that he was, using heroin. And I said, "Can I try some of that?" And from that day forward, for about 2 years, I became, an opiate addict. Thankfully, some good friends, some true friends of mine, saved my life. And once I got over the physical and mental symptoms and started spending more and more time in nature, I noticed that void that was there, that before I would try to fill with anything I could, was just naturally being filled up by the beautiful things around me. And I was like, holy crap, this is what my dad was talking about on all those lectures I sat in on. Now, 20 many plus years later, there is scientific proof that time in nature, even just 5 minutes a day, is good for overall human health. And it can help humans heal from any sort of mental or physical injury. And pretty soon here, once they get their retreat center built, I'm going to be part of a team of people who are all doctors who are going to be treating people with PTSD and other other sorts of things like that, using magical plant medicine. And part of the program is time in nature with T3, learning the skills of our ancestors, connecting with the nature net as opposed to the internet, and learning a new awake way of life to where you don't feel the need to dull your senses. So, I hear this rumor and I wonder, how is this affecting my business? You know, how many people have heard this rumor and automatically just blew me off? Um, you know, so I encourage people, you know, my number is always on. My door is always open. If you want to give me a call and ask me a question, oh yeah, the reason it first came up was because of my weight loss. Well, when you have Lyme's disease for 36 years, 26 of which go by perfectly fine, then 10 years ago, I started to feel the effects of it. I passed out working in a field one day because my heart just started fluttering. Long story short, I go to the doctor. Doctor says, yeah, your Lyme disease is in, severe overload, and it's lodged itself near your heart, and it has exacerbated a condition. I was born with a heart murmur. So I have to most likely get a pacemaker and a heart valve replacement sometime in the next 5+ years, or there will be no more T3. So back to me posting about my GoFundMe, and I've mentioned this several times. Sending that out and is talking about it is one of the hardest things for me to do, because for the past 22 years I have taught tens of thousands of students at 3 different organizations, and then I decided to start my own business. I was woefully underprepared, which I fully admit to. And that's because I'm a creative, I'm a writer, I'm a photographer. I like to make things out of wood and bone. Business stuff, and especially these days with all the internet marketing. Throw in a little identity theft, sprinkle in a little bit of trading in your truck that you never should have, and you end up to where I am now, which is why I started the campaign. I don't want people to think that because I have the campaign that like I'm getting no business at all, because I am. I got the guys from La Primitifs coming down in March. I've booked quite a few private classes that I've taken deposits on, and I'm just waiting the student to choose the date and location of the class. I'm booking a lot of private online classes. So, there's a lot of skills that I can teach you online over multiple sessions. So, things are going up. It's just not quite the angle at which I need them to, which is why I reached out with that final New Year's Day plea. And then also highlighting my accomplishments and all the stuff that those donations have helped me to achieve. I would have been, without that, I would have been literally living under a bridge somewhere. Well, I'd be living in the woods somewhere, but near a bridge probably. Yeah. So it just hurts my heart when I hear that people may have this misconception about me, who either have never met me or know me well enough to call me and have a conversation with me about it. So that's all I got to say about that. I have so much gratitude for all of you, anybody who is listening to this or watches this. I'm thankful to be alive. Every morning I wake up, it's the first day of the rest of my life. And I know things are tough right now, but many years from now, I will look back on this day and I will laugh at how frantic I was over things like finances and learning, the internet marketing and all those sorts of things. So thanks for your time, everybody. Love you all. Peace and love. T3 out.